Hi everybody, welcome back. Nothing special about today's episode. Well, they're all special, but I mean it's regular, and there were no technical issues, so that's good. As always, the Monkees may be a children's show from the 60s, but the Monkees pod is not a children's show from 2025. We definitely say some four-letter words in this one, which is a phrase that I've never understood, because not all swears are four letters. I know a lot of them are, but there's also a lot of other words that are four letters, and we say some of those as well. Enjoy the episode! Hello, and welcome back to the Monkees Pod, a Monkees recap podcast. I am Sommer.
I'm Lisa.
And I'm Molly.
Today we have Season 1, Episode 22, Monkees at the Circus. Although every day on this show is something of a circus.
Yes.
And the historical background today is going to be, we're going to return to Circus Boy.
Naturally.
Return
A little
to
boy.
Circus Boy.
And in general to talk about kind of the historical decline of the American circus, which is kind of the plot of Circus Boy, as I've discovered. So first, here's a little bit of a description of the plot of Circus Boy from Micky's book. He says, Circus Boy was a half-hour adventure show about this kid, Corky, who lives in a traveling circus at the turn of the century, the last century. His parents, the Flying Falcons, have been killed in a trapeze accident, and he is unofficially adopted by the circus clown Joey, played by the marvelous actor Noah Beery Jr., the nephew of Wallace Beery. I don't know who that is. Uncle Joey and the rest of the circus characters become my surrogate family, and I become the circus mascot. My circus job is to look after the newborn baby elephant Bimbo. Bimbo becomes my pet, best friend, confidant, and partner in mischievousness. We are inseparable. The best part of it all was that it was just like living in a real circus. Instead of having to build all the props and sets, the producers had bought an old out-of-work circus, complete with tents, wagons, sideshows, and a midway. And they always hired real circus acts as performers. Over the years, I learned how to walk a tightrope, juggle, swing on a trapeze, and stand up on the back of a running horse. Not only did I ride Bimbo the elephant, I rode Brahmin, bulls, hippos, a rhinoceros, camels, ostriches, bears, and a lion. The lion called Nubo was very famous in his own right, being the third generation lion that you see at the beginning of MGM movies.
Whoa, Nepo lion.
They were letting Micky ride that Nepo
I was
lion.
going to just letting this child
Yeah.
ride on
They
the
do
back
not
animals.
utilize those skills enough in the Monkees.
Right. He has a story, like a page later, where he talks about like the only time that like he ever saw his mom get mad on set was like they let a lion or like they let one of the tigers like loose on the set and they're like, oh, it's fine, and she was like, get Micky the fuck out of there. It's interesting he says that they bought an entire circus, because kind of what I learned in my research was that in like the 19th century, the circus was very much a family business that you were born into or cast into after you were born by your disability.
Right.
Like you were a circus freak and was your entire life. It wasn't just your job, it was your entire life. And it was almost like a social cast that you couldn't break out of. Like if you were a carny, that's all you'll ever be.
And it was a place to run away to,
Yeah.
too. Like when you like failed at life or trying to get away, you ran off to the circus and joined the circus.
Yeah. And they were your family
Yes.
now. As we can see in American Horror Story, Freak Show, and The Greatest Showman.
Right, naturally.
The historical document, The Greatest Showman. Like circuses nowadays obviously still exist, but these days, if you are a circus performer, you're also like a person with an internet presence and people respect you.
Right.
You know, it's not like
And I
your
think
entire community.
You have a life.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a circus performer, but that's not the only thing you do.
Yeah.
Like,
Probably because circuses aren't necessarily on the same tier of entertainment as they were back in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole system is different, though. I looked up into the factors that caused the circus to decline, because that's kind of the plot of this episode. So after World War II, it started with World War I, because there was the combination of the draft, so a lot of circus performers were getting sent to the trenches, and also there were a lot of comparisons during COVID to the Spanish flu, but I'm like, nobody remembers the Spanish flu. Sure, like it didn't disrupt life so wholly like it did, but this is an example of Spanish flu being historically compared to COVID that I was actually like, oh yeah, COVID was like that. The circus was taken out low-key by Spanish flu.
Uh-huh.
2 years where you can't go outside to your gatherings. Well, the only kinds of gatherings you're going to be going outside to is the circus.
And that's people, those people are going from place to place. So if they're bringing
True, they
whatever
can't
the flu
travel.
with them.
Yeah. And then, of course, TV and movies kind of occurred, and that kind of put an end to that. Also, animal rights, which is a very 60s element to it.
But even like into the 2000s, they finally got rid of the elephants,
right, yeah.
in Ringling Brothers. Like they had the performing elephants up until like 20 years ago.
One of my first notes in this episode, they like have some generic B-roll of circuses, and like the first shot of the episode is just like some elephants chilling, and I like, even that made me uncomfortable because I'm like, I know those are show elephants and they're being abused, like, so it's just kind of interesting that
I mean, I don't think Ringling Brothers was abusing their elephants,
but like
to
take an elephant out of its natural environment and make it live in a tent and wear a hat is abuse.
It is. Yeah, but I mean,
they weren't like whipping the circuses. I remember Grammy always used to be a big fan of the circus because she went to the circus when she was a little girl.
We used to go to every year. We would go to what's the one? Big Apple Circus. We went to Big Apple Circus. You've probably been to Big Apple Circus like 6-7 times. Do you remember going when you were little?
Yes.
With Grandma the Clown?
I remember Grandma the Clown, which was a man in drag.
Yeah.
I do remember that, but I think the reason I remember that is because I have some journal entries in it from like first grade from our like school
and
journal.
Also they used to be in the parade too.
Right. I do remember that in the Macy's parade.
Yeah. But we would go we saw the Big Apple Circus probably like 6-7 years in a row.
Does that exist anymore? Because I feel like I don't see ads about it.
It went away and then it came back, and now I was just thinking about it and I'm like, did it go away again? Like it closed probably prior to COVID, or maybe it closed during COVID, and then I swear it was back for a little while.
I think it was back too. I feel like I remember it being advertised.
I feel it was back. And do you remember where it was like right in the city, and they would just put the tent up like in a lot?
Right. So circuses these days, like the form has kind of not died out. It's still like pretty small, but now they're Cirque du Soleil. Now it's entirely an acrobat-based show medium, pretty much, because people don't want to see trained animals. People don't want to see disabled or deformed people.
Right. Even after The Greatest Showman explained that no one was being mistreated and they were all friends.
They were all friends, and they all sang a powerful Dear Evan Hansen ballad about how empowered they felt. Look out, because here I come. Something about like circuses and midways and carnivals and boardwalks have this kind of creepy vibe to them.
Yeah.
And I like,
well, it's the whole transient thing.
Yeah,
the way that coming in and out, and you don't know who these people are.
Yeah,
and a lot of people who are not good end up in these situations because they have nowhere else to go.
Because in the 1800s, when you committed a crime before there were security cameras, you could just change your name and join the circus.
Join the circus, yeah.
This might also go back to like anti-Roma racism, because they were kind of like similar to circus performers, and also kind of like transient like that. And also circuses are kind of a well-known scam in the sense that Jenny Nicholson, who is a YouTuber I really like.
Jenny Nicholson.
Yeah, she has a video about the Disney Tim Burton live action Dumbo remake. And she's like, we all know in the modern day that circuses are pretty lame because they put up a big tent, they get you all excited to see what's in the tent, and once you're in the tent, they already have your money and they don't really care.
Yeah.
So they'll just like shove concessions down your throat, put like a lame act in front of you,
Well, it's P.T. Barnum.
It's showmanship and trickery.
Here's the big egress, which is exit. And he had a sign that see the egress, the egress, and everybody would go, and it was exit.
Yeah. Or like he like sewed a monkey and a fish together and called it a mermaid. It's
he was big.
It's
scammer.
Yeah. A known trickery, scam, dirty, shady time in this tent that we're all going to enjoy together. And people around the invention of television were like, I don't think I want that anymore. Yeah. But They tried hard to save it, as they did in this episode. So let's take a look at that. So the director of this episode was Bruce Kessler. It was written by David Panich, both those guys we've had around before. This one was broadcast number 22nd on February 13th, 1967, which was Peter's 25th birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Peter.
birthday,
Here's a
Peter.
beautiful gift for you. And it was filmed December 9th to 13th. So
Which
again,
is
right around
Just
this
days
time.
ago.
Days
Yeah.
ago.
There's a lot of B-roll in this episode that they've taken from some circus that clearly occurred in about 1942 based on how everyone is dressed. But I guess at that time, clothes from 20 years ago don't look that weird
Yeah.
to the average person.
I think it was probably from the 50s, actually,
Yeah.
if they had the film like that. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, color film. I guess you're right. But I don't know. When the circus comes to town, you're going to want to use your best film to capture it for
Yeah.
the B-roll
I
companies.
still think it was the 50s, but
Okay. Maybe it was the same circus that Micky was shooting his TV set on in the 50s.
could have been.
The Monkees are not watching the circus. They are, in fact, wandering around backstage.
Well, they come to see the circus and it's closed.
Well, they come to see the circus and it's closed, but they're already wandering around in tents with, like, props on the floor.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they think they are. Micky says, I haven't been to a circus since I was a kid. Remember?
Wink, wink.
Remember when Micky was in Circus Boy? So Mike's outfit in this scene is green on green again. Peter's outfit is Velma colors. He has a orange sweatshirt and like red velour pants, and he looks like Velma. Orange is really Peter's color. He wears it a lot, and he says, "I love a circus. I wonder what time the show is going on." And then they come across like an index card that someone wrote closed on in Sharpie, like sitting on the ground inside the tent already, by the way. But they also didn't think to like look up what time the circus would be.
No.
I just pulled up.
Yeah. Also, but the implication here is supposed to be like that the circus is not putting on a show tonight because they're closed. But the circus is mobile. Why'd they even put the tents up if they're not doing a show?
Well, they came in and then they decided that they couldn't do the show.
Because they're organizing a strike.
Okay.
Yes.
So they set the whole tent up and then decide to close the circus. Peter says, "Let's sneak inside." Mike, genuine annoyance. It's sneak, not snick. I sneak, you sneak, we sneak. Peter, oh good, then we can all get in. And then Davy goes, oh, Peter. Like, I like when they have moments of being annoyed at Peter being stupid in universe because they pretend that they're not all also stupid. And by sneak, they mean walk directly in the front flap of the tent and start fucking with every prop.
Every prop.
Just, yeah. Which, as actors, they should know. You never touch someone else's prop. But especially if you're not even, like, in the production with them, and you did some of these things that may be weaponized or dangerous.
Well, I suppose the in-universe monkeys are not actors.
Yeah. They're rude boys.
Micky juggles 2 clubs.
Mm-hmm. And he says, "It reminds me of when I was a boy." Hey, remember when Micky used to be in a TV show called Circus Boy?
And he was climbing around on all the...
Yeah, because he remembers when he used to be on a TV show called Circus Boy.
And then Peter picks up a bullhorn and pretends it's a machine gun. Okay.
Okay. He was having fun, okay?
And then Davy leans up against that knife throwing board that we saw.
Yeah, the same Davy's knife throwing board made to his height specifications.
I still have a question. Why? No, we won't go back there.
Okay.
Why was that in the other one? We don't know.
Because, Mom, Roma, they know all the tricks in the book. I don't know.
That was the Roma one. Okay.
Yeah. So Davy's casually leaning against the knife trick board. A random casually dressed man with normal hair and clothes starts throwing knives at him, and he says, "You're trespassing. If you're still here when I return, I shall call the police." And then he leaves. I mean, like, that's one way to do it. No guarantee that they're going to leave. And also, if you call the police now, you're on the books for assault, which is worse than trespassing. So
no, he was. If they're trespassing, you can.
If they're trespassing, you can throw knives at them.
You could say you were defending your.
Okay. But he doesn't, like, make sure they leave. He just says, "I will call the police."
And instead
Expecting
of leaving,
that after knives have been thrown at them, they'll decide to leave.
Well, instead of leaving, of course, they hang around and stick their nose in everybody else's business.
Well,
is what I said.
Yeah, because they will not ever do anything that anyone tells them to.
And then we get the knife thrower's name,
He's named Victor.
which is Victor.
Yeah, this is one of the few villains that I actually call by their real name in my script, and I think it's perhaps because he is turning in for some reason the like most serious performance.
Right, he's a very regular guy compared to the other
He's
villains.
so like he has this grave seriousness to every stupid thing he says in this Monkees Circus episode that I'm like, does this guy like normally do drama or something?
And at one point, he actually refers to himself as Victor in
Yeah.
the third person.
Yeah.
So how can you not call him by
Yeah,
his name?
like the thing is, he has this like deadly serious affect. He's also always dressed like very normal, except like he puts on like a satin shirt for his stage outfit at the very, very end. But like I feel like the actor refused to wear anything stupid. He refused to say anything stupid, but it turns out that he did say some stupid things later.
You could have cast the silliest actor ever to be like the Carney in the circus episode, but
I think it kind of ends up working. Like it
does
goes
work.
so hard in the other direction that
It's
it works.
such a far contrast to everything else
Yeah.
happening.
So Davy's like stuck to the board with knives around his head, and he goes, Mike, because Mike is his mommy, and he's like, Mike, that guy was throwing knives at me. Why didn't you do anything?
Why didn't you do anything about
Because
it?
Mike is his mommy, and Mike like half-assed like tries to pull the knife out of the board. It doesn't work, and another knife comes and at them. After the theme song, they play a song which is titled Entrance of the Gladiators, because when it was written it was supposed to be very, very epic and very announcing of the entrance of some powerful warriors, but so that's a really good example of cultural music and how the associations around music can change in culture.
And now you just think about clowns.
Yeah, you think about ridiculous clowns. Victor stands in front of a mural of a circus fat man named W.D. Tiny Cowan. That I think that was just a random. They just had a lot of circus props. In the studio backlot.
Yeah, they just grabbed whatever props they had.
Yeah, and he makes a speech to his circus freaks. He says, "Listen to me. We are not paid. The equipment is old. The crowds no longer come. I say we leave.
The circus is dead.
The circus is dead.
Leave the carcass."
Yeah, he's so dark about the circus. So he's kind of not wrong, though.
He's not wrong. Carcass, though.
You're not getting paid. The circus is dead. Also, like later we learn that like they can't feed the animals because they can't afford it. Like actually, free them.
So maybe if you can't pay the people or the animals,
what are you doing?
Yeah. Victor is kind of correct.
Right.
He threw knives at random boys, but that's the only bad thing he's done so far, in my opinion.
Well, some guy in a leather jacket pipes in and blames the rock and roll groups and discotheques.
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk about these crowd of circus freaks, because most of them are normal men.
Yeah.
Two of them have clown makeup on. Right. Two of them have leather jackets on. One of them that has clown makeup is also one of the ones with leather jackets. Yeah. There's like one guy with dwarfism wearing a clown suit in the front, but he has no makeup on. He was actually pretty handsome, and I was like, that poor actor born in a time where he had to be a freak.
At first, at first he was standing on something and in the middle of the crowd, and I didn't even realize that he was of short stature. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, because he was standing on a block.
There's two different Little People actors in this episode. There's this one guy who's in this one crowd scene and doesn't appear again. And then there's another guy who was credited, unfortunately. I'll put that there. And he has like speaking lines in the rest of the episode, but it's really clear they had them on 2 different days, and they were like, get another one.
Terrible.
Yeah. Apparently the decline of the circus is the fault of only rock and roll groups, because people would rather see rock and roll groups than the circus.
At the discotheques.
Even though I think those audiences are kind of almost mutually exclusive.
Right.
In addition to Victor at the circus, there is the requisite sad old man named Pops and beautiful daughter. So I called them Old Man Circus and Circus Daughter.
I called her daughter the whole time.
Yeah.
Did you have a name?
At some point, her name is Susan.
Yeah, her name is
till the end.
Susan.
Like my 4th page of notes, I'm like, oh, there she is, Susan. Okay.
Girl and old man named Pop. It's fine. Daughter and Pop. It's fine. The monkey stock characters, they're here. She's brunette this week.
Yeah, rare appearance for brunettes.
Yeah.
She's very pretty.
Davy spots her.
Yeah, since she's pretty, we have to save the circus now so
Yeah.
Davy can get some. I feel like there's easier ways for Davy to get some than saving the American circus.
Yeah.
He will do whatever it takes.
Yeah. She's like, we can't even buy food for the animals. And Davy's like, well, if our little monkey plan fails, you can personally feed me to the lions. That'll be good for like one day, Davy. You're like a snack for lions. Also, y'all can't buy food for the animals. Shut this thing down.
Shut
Like-
down. Free the animals. Like, honestly,
Please.
I'm not rooting for Pop. He should have closed this place down long ago.
Pop is a terrible business manager.
Yeah.
So Davy gets up on the fat man stage and he starts arguing with Victor on stage. And Micky like sows seeds of doubt in the crowd by being like, yeah, he's right. Whoa, I never thought of that. Like really obviously. And it works because the crowd is a hive mind and they have no like interiority.
And they're all like, yes, yes.
Yeah.
There is hope.
Davy's like, the kids will come back to the circus. They always do. No, they will not, and no, they do not.
No, they have the discotheques now. Don't you see?
Micky is like in the transition out of the scene, Micky is singing the Circus Boy theme song like under his breath. And someone's like, what is that? He's like, it's an old TV series. Hey, remember when Micky played Corky the Circus Boy on the television program Circus Boy? Because I forgot already that he did that.
So I have Micky singing the theme, and then daughter comes over and thanks Davy by name, but she has never told him.
Maybe
Well,
she's
you're
a
his
fan.
name. Yeah.
She goes, thank you, Davy.
He just looks like a Davy, okay?
You talked to him for a minute and he never told you his name.
He told her psychically through the shadow realm. Micky says to her, what's with the maniac knife thrower? And Circus Daughter says, Victor, well, he gets these sullen periods where he throws knives at people.
It's like, they last 2 or 3 years.
He should see a professional
see someone about that.
his depression, because that's she says that Victor is their star performer. He's not like the ringleader, he's the knife thrower.
He literally only throws
But apparently
knives.
this is the favorite act.
I guess
Knife
it's
throwing.
what everyone goes to the circus to see, Victor's knife throwing act. And the success of the circus hinges on whether he will perform or not.
So she explains Victor's upset because the crowds would rather see rock and rollers, and then asks him, what do you do?
And they're like, we're brain surgeons.
So the Shadow Realm, they're all in
Surgery
scrubs, except Mike has his wool hat on.
No. Mike has Mike is wearing like a hillbilly outfit.
No. First he's in scrubs,
With
and
his
then
hat.
and then with his hat, and then he goes into this hillbilly, like a cowboy outfit.
Yeah,
and I go, oh, that's probably because they made him wear his hat. So he's
Yeah.
like, I want to be
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah, he's they say in the summer Mike is a cotton picker because it has transferable skills, because you pick up cotton balls out of the jar.
Cotton picking.
The mention of cotton picking
I
is
was
I'm
like-
like,
I was
Hold
like,
on.
wait a minute. He's a cotton picker?
Hold on.
Okay.
hold on.
And then I said, at least they let him change his hat.
Yeah.
And then
But no, it's a joke because cotton balls when you're a doctor. That's what the
oh,
joke
is
is.
that what
Yeah.
that was?
Yeah, that's what the joke is.
Okay. But Mike gives a farm report into Mickey's stethoscope.
Yeah. No. The farm report is a bit that Mike does. He does it in like the Monkees on Tour, which was genuinely like filming them doing a radio appearance. So Mike's farm report is one of his like
Okay.
favorite bits that he probably didn't realize.
But Peter was cracking up.
Mhm.
Like Peter's there underneath his scrub mask. He's laughing hysterically at the farm report.
because there was a bit they did all the time, because it's not that funny by itself.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. Mike loves his farm report. That boy, you can take the boy out of the farm. Circus Daughter says, I guess you can't be all bad, or else you'd be out fruging in a
Yeah. There
discotheque.
goes the fruit again.
Yeah. And then she hears an elephant noise to her left and says, sorry, I'll be right back.
and an elephant calls her, so she has to leave.
I've been summoned.
Is she talking to the elephant?
What did he call? Was that her name? An elephant?
Oh no, he needs me.
Yeah. The elephant. I don't know how to connect this. I'm just thinking right now about the elephant from the Barbie movie with her like scary eyes.
Tika.
Tika the elephant was there because these are all the Barbie movie universe.
Yes.
I've decided now.
The monkeys in the Barbie verse like have a lot of connections.
Yeah, Monkees They should make monkey dolls. I'm like the only monkey doll like toys they have
Like,
are
they do have that like kind of
These-
action figure-esque
or either
ones.
like action figures with that are weird and don't look like them, or like knockoff pop figures that are weird and don't look like them. They don't even have real pop figures of the
They
Monkees.
don't?
I
That's
don't think they
surprising.
do. The Monkees don't get anything. They don't get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Monkeys.
They don't get pop figures. They don't
Oh.
get respect.
They should have made more dolls if they were being advertised specifically to young girls. That surprises me.
Yeah. I think like the thinking then was kind of like girls play with Barbie because they want to be Barbie, and Ken is just an accessory to that. They
Right,
don't
I
really like
guess.
play.
Yeah.
Well, even like the Beatles toys, when we talked about this, that girls would play as their favorite Beatle.
True.
They wouldn't just play Let's Date the Beatles. They would play Let's Be the Beatles.
Mm.
So they should have taken advantage of that to be like, this is my avatar, this is who I am. But like
Yeah.
they assumed, I guess, that it was for girls, if not like actually older, who kind of were like into boys and dating now, so they think they're too old for dolls. And
Yeah.
this is a tangent, but it's always been interesting to me that we see baby dolls as for very little girls and fashion dolls as for like older
Right.
little girls, you know? Because and I guess that's kind of to do with like, oh, when you're like a baby yourself, you only know mommy takes care of baby, and that's
Right.
kind of the only adult you know how to play
Yeah,
as.
so, yeah,
True.
that's
Yeah. Just something about child and toy psychology. Very interesting field.
I have,
So since daughter has been called away by the elephant, Peter does like a TikTok transition with the bullhorn into their circus fantasy sequence.
Peter's the ringmaster.
Yeah. This whole sequence, there's no point.
No,
it's
it-
just a bit of whimsy.
Just some classic monkey hijinks.
Yeah.
Mickey's the lion tamer, and Mike is the lion.
1 second. so Peter's ring tamer outfit, or ring master outfit, is like literally Hugh Jackman in The Greatest Showman. That just must
It's
be
so
what
funny.
P.T. Barnum actually wore, because it's just like there's one ringmaster outfit and it's black top hat and red tailcoat.
Right.
And he has a whip that he keeps cracking that whip to remind you that they beat animals with whips. So then we cut to Mickey the lion tamer and his beautiful lion, which is furry Mike.
Like, and not just wearing a mane, but like so much fur
Like,
on the face.
On
Yeah.
the face.
So he's like
But it
so
wasn't
creepy.
a complete mask.
No,
like,
no, no,
over his
no.
head.
He's
It was
wearing-
like on his face.
Yeah,
like prosthetics.
He's like a furry suit, like a furry would wear with paws, but he doesn't have the head that goes with it. He just has his normal head with like a weird amount of fur glued to his skin.
like a lion mustache.
like being halfway into werewolf prosthetics. His normal hair and neck and ears poking out the back, and the hat on top of all of that.
Yeah, and the hat.
Yeah. He looks terrible.
was like-
so scary.
Yeah. And Mickey says, "Do the trick I just taught you." And Lion Mike is like, "Oh, let me write it down." And he picks up his pencil with his lion paw and starts writing down. And Mickey goes, "You stupid lion!" I love when they play like little boys. Yes.
And then he makes the lion makes the lion tamer go through.
Yeah. Like Lion Mike takes the whip and he starts whipping Mickey to go through the hoop. Furry oomphs, I have a couple of you. Does this do anything for you? is this the vibe, or is this? I'm guessing this is poor furry representation, and this isn't doing it for
We
anyone.
can trace furries all the way back to 1967.
Yeah.
With Mike Nesmith.
Yes. So then, ringleader Pete introduces acrobat Davy, who is hanging from the ceiling.
The great Zambini.
Yeah, he is hanging from the ceiling by his teeth. Cut down to a reaction shot of Mike and Mickey, where Mike still has the lion shit on his face, but he's wearing a
his
normal
clothes.
shirt. He did not want to keep that shit on for a second longer than he had to. He was being so difficult.
They were like, "We're going to shoot you again." All right, I'm not putting this
Fine.
suit back on.
That reminds me of how during the filming of The Wizard of Oz, Bert Lahr had to have an internal cooling system in his lion
Because
suit
it was so hot.
because it was made of multiple real lion pelts. I don't think
Gross.
Lion Mike's suit was that hot or heavy or anything. I just think he was being uncooperative and refused to wear it for a second longer than he had to. And I also find that funny as a point of contrast to we're hyping Fairy Tale up so much. I don't know. Do you remember the episode Fairy Tale?
No.
When we get there, you'll see how good it is, because it is the best episode of the show. And one thing that's good for that is that it shows, in contrast to this, how hard Mike went for Princess Gwen, because that's his girl, that's his ride or die. He would never take a piece of that costume off early. He kept the lashes and the wig on the whole time. He was ready to go for her. The same cannot be said for poor Lion, but it turns out that the Zamboni, what's his name?
Zamboni.
Davy, acrobat Davy,
is hanging.
He's hanging an inch off the ground and also wearing women's ballet flats.
Like pretty shoes.
Yeah, they have like bows on them. Sure. I don't know. George Harrison has flats on for like the last 20 minutes of Help, so I guess it wasn't like out of the question. But they are women's shoes. And then he takes the like support strap out of his mouth with the help of visible wires.
He's hanging in the air.
Yeah. And Peter TikTok transitions back to reality. And then Micky sings the Circus Boy song again, in case we forgot that he was in Circus Boy. Victor says to Old Man Circus and Daughter Circus, everyone has signed this petition. Either we get our back pay or we leave at once. Sounds fair to me.
Yes,
like this sounds fair to me. And Daughter says, just give my father some more time. Girl, he can't single-handedly resurrect the American circus.
How much more time? Your animals are starving to death.
Yeah. The longer you wait, the less money you have.
Also, Pop has no plan, by the way.
No, he doesn't. He just wants more time to like... Victor says, who would come to a little circus like this? And what would you pay the performers with? Why would they come? Valid points.
All valid points. I'm on Victor's side.
Yeah, he delivers them convincingly with his dramatic acting. But then the Monkees phase in red tights, sparkly gold tunics, and limp mustaches.
You could see first of all, they're all different style mustaches, and you can see the glue.
Yeah, the like lace.
Glue through the mustaches. It was still wet. They must have just slapped them on there.
Yeah.
And they all had different mustaches, and they all had different accents.
They all had different accents. So Micky starts with his Italian accent. Yeah. He's like, hello, we've come to save the circus from distress.
We're the Mozzarella brothers.
Yeah, Davy Frenchly says, who are you? Would you ask these people, who are these people to the Budapest Swing Quartet? And then Peter, German, I think.
I said Eastern European.
Yeah, he's like, we are the Budapest String Quartet. And then Mike, extreme Texas mode, says, we are the Mozzarella brothers. And then like Micky like feeds him his next line and he stumbles over it, but he's listing their names, which are amazing, incredible, colossal, and stupendous.
Supreme. It started with Supreme.
The concept of a man named Colossal Mozzarella.
Colossal Mozzarella.
But then that he's feeding them their names, but every time they say it, they say no, that other one. Like they don't.
Well, no, but because people keep going, you're incredible. Yeah. They're like, no, Peter's
but
incredible.
I still don't think they were still naming the same every time. They're like, no, he's. Yeah. I think they were mixing it up still.
Yeah. I think this was the point when they realized that Mike could do no accent other than his own, and they stopped asking him to try.
But he totally, I was like, yeah, he didn't even bother to read the lines before he started.
No, he didn't. He keeps saying Z, like for the, he keeps saying Z in his Texas accent. So I'm guessing that's how the lines are written.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they were written for him to be French, and then he couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, he says they're from France. And Peter says that their act is that they are tightrope walkers. And Victor says, do you use a net? And then Peter says, no, just a little spray. Mike not knowing his lines might be explained by the fact that I think that they smoked weed in the middle of filming the scene, because I just want us all to take a look at the difference between these two pictures of Davy. So you can see perhaps something happened there.
He is not hiding it, and no one cared.
Like
he is blitzed.
Yeah. So they like brag and say that they can do a bunch of impossible shit that they can't as part of their act. Why would they say that?
I don't know.
They're like, if we're impressive enough, the circus will have to be back on,
and then everybody will come.
Okay, like with the help of the Shadow Realm, they can do these things. But they won't, because that's where the line has been drawn this episode. But then they kind of do. It didn't make any sense.
No.
Then they pop out of their Shadow Realm costumes, except Peter's mustache. He still has the mustache on. And the daughter gets mad at them. She's like, "Do you realize what you just did?" They're like, "Yeah, we saved the circus." Because Victor was like, "I have great confidence now that I know the Mozzarella brothers are here to save us."
Victor was convinced. Everyone was,
but the reasonable and level-headed Victor was convinced.
And the girl, I was like, "You go, girl. You're right. Like these people are trash. They're not doing any."
But also, she doesn't want to pay the workers at her father's circus, so
she doesn't have any money.
Well, she just believes that her father will eventually take care of it if we just are a little patient.
If we are hopeful and loving, then the circus will live again. She says, like, they leave. She's alone. She goes, "No! What's gonna happen tomorrow if the crowds come and there are no Mozzarella brothers?" A question I'm always asking myself. So then the Monkees go around to all the different circus freaks. The sword swallower, Mike watches the sword swallower do his work with a mixture of fascination and disgust, which seems like a metaphor for something. And the sword swallower says, "Did you hear the Mozzarella brothers are coming? The circus is saved." How would the circus be saved by an act that is not famous because the Monkees yes-anded them into existence 5 minutes ago and nobody knows who they are?
I have no idea.
These are all like apparently real circus performers. Wouldn't they know this is not a real act? But they're acting like they're famous.
Okay, but even if they were like, "Oh my god, guys, the foreign circus act, the Mozzarella brothers, who are so good, they just claimed they can do all these crazy things, they're coming." Even if that's the premise of this, why would the crowds know who they are and that they can do all these amazing things? Also, they have not been proven to do any of these amazing things.
Unless the Monkees are pretending to be a real circus act that exists
in this universe.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they are, because
I doubt it.
Yeah. But it didn't make any sense.
No. But then the clown.
Yeah, the clown. That actor, I learned, I looked him up. He was an Ewok in Star Wars.
Was he?
Yeah.
So he says that the Mozzarella brothers are coming.
Yeah.
And then the strongman actually calls them the Mozzarella boys, not brothers.
Yeah, well, he was
the boys are coming.
The Mozzarella boys. Peter is with the strongman, by the way, is wearing
jeans,
blue jeans, like Tarzan.
He's wearing like a loincloth on his chest.
Yeah,
and
like
normal pants,
like a Tarzan jungle
and it was
skin.
Loose.
Yeah, and just blue jeans with a belt,
with a thin belt.
Yeah.
And blue jeans. I was like, okay, he's lifting in jeans.
There's also a woman who's credited as juggler, I think. And she's like a woman in her 50s wearing a sparkly bikini. And she's like throwing some
things up in the air.
Things with Micky. All of the circus freaks are like, yes, the Mozzarella brothers are coming and they are going to save us. And Mike walks up to Peter, and Peter's wearing Mike's salmon shirt in this scene because they all share clothes. And he's holding the big barbell of the circus guys so easily because he is also inhumanly strong randomly. And he's like, "Mike, did you hear? The Mozzarella brothers are coming and they're going to save the circus." And Mike's like, "That's us." And he's like, "Oh."
Uh-oh.
But then it cuts to them doing the Mozzarella brothers act.
Yeah. They're practicing it.
They're practicing it, but they are doing it fairly competently for complete beginners. Occasionally they fail and fall off and are saved by like wires or YTP editing or something.
But like they can canonically walk on a tightrope pretty decently.
Well, here's the thing. Well, first of all, the daughter is covering her face.
Yeah.
Because it's so bad. But here's the thing. Didn't we just say that Micky can actually walk on a tightrope?
Yeah.
Yes.
He knew how to do this. So they're showing this, yes, and they're obviously on wires or whatever. And then they're showing them walking on a tightrope, which I just assumed they were actually walking on a
low tightrope or something.
Yeah. Not even a tightrope. They were walking
like
on something solid. It was dark, they weren't really on a tightrope. But it was Micky Davy and Peter maybe. And Davy falls off and he's on the wire. Yeah. And it's like, well, he was wired up before. And then Peter and Mike walk through each other.
They like phase through each other with editing.
But because they just had, you could see up their tunics, right?
Mom, I noticed that. I noticed that, Mom.
First you could see with Davy, and I was like, okay, he must have a harness on. He had
Yeah.
shorts on, like
Right.
it looked like shorts on underneath the leotard.
Yeah.
They're wearing, and I go, oh, he was wearing a harness.
Yeah,
so
for the
that's
wires.
probably what that was. What was Mike wearing a diaper? Like he
This is my theory.
diaper on.
Mike's ass was so tiny and skinny that no clothes fit normally on him, on his like skinny hips, his skinny womanly hips. So
he had.
There were probably just like normal underwear, and they were just so bunchy on him.
I thought he had a pair of shorts, like jean shorts on under there.
Maybe he did. Maybe he refused to get.
But they were. But they
tights.
were really. But they were just like underwear sized.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, does he have a pair of like really short cutoffs under there? What is he wearing under his leotard?
I am also interested in this information. If anyone has any leads, please let me know.
And then I was like, oh, maybe he has harness on. I'm like, no, he doesn't have a harness on. That's why I was saying they weren't really walking on anything. And I think they just had the harness on Davy because in the earlier scene, he came off of the top of the pyramid on the harness. So
yeah. No,
they just left the harness on him, but
yeah, they honestly, their shadow realm bending of time and space to save them from grievous tightrope accidents is more entertaining than a normal tightrope act, and I think that they are ready to go on. But daughter is like, this is awful and I hate it, and you're not good at this, and you're not the Mozzarella brothers.
Daughter secretly wants Circus to flop.
And during the whole thing, there's like voiceovers of like when they were walking through each other, like back up, back up. That's like Micky going, back up, back up.
No, you're walking through each other. No. Okay, here's the thing. She says, what are you going to do? We have a packed crowd tonight. You already have their money. The circus has been saved already. And if that's the case, if the people of this town are so easily swayed by like false marketing, why don't you just claim to have a bunch of stuff that you don't have if they're gonna
like
come?
a circus.
Yeah. Like, why don't
like
you
the actual circus?
Yeah, why don't you lie
You can
and
just do
grift
that.
and exaggerate like P.T. Barnum as is your job?
Yeah.
Is it because Pops is terrible businessman? I don't know. And Micky says, for our first act, we could get out of town. Little joke about that big. The little joke is a running joke.
I said, the girl with no name. Oh, wait, it's Susan. It's still worried. They confess they are rock and rollers.
Yeah.
And Victor over here.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah. So Davy goes, we should just tell the truth. We're rock and roll singers. And then Victor busts in and delivers the Pulitzer Prize winning monologue that I've written in its entirety here. He goes, rock and roll? That's all I needed to hear. Everyone come in here. Come, come, come. I have an announcement to make. These boys are not trapeze artists. They've never even been on a trapeze. How dare you call yourselves trapeze artists?
They never told themselves.
How dare you call yourselves trapeze artists? They're frauds. They're not even circus people. They're rock and roll singers. Now you can all stay if you want, but not Victor.
Okay, but here's the thing. They said they were tightrope walkers.
Yeah.
Not trapeze artists. Anyway.
Yeah.
So they wrote this.
And then they changed.
And then they didn't bother to tell
the
Victor.
actor learned his lines so good. He was not going to change it for even a second.
I'm like,
to be fair, it was a great monologue, and I was deeply invested.
Like, Oscar worthy, truly.
How dare you call yourselves trapeze? There's a couple times in the Monkees, this is the biggest one, where just like a non-monkey character has some line that is so ridiculous, but they deliver it with such conviction. It's, how dare you call yourselves trapeze artists? And then in Monkey's Paw, the daughter of that old man goes, but father, didn't you say the book of mystery was cursed? Or something like that. And just the sincere delivery of the stupidest line ever makes beautiful comedy, which I'm not sure how intentional it was. Anyway, the Monkees awkwardly leave because they've been called out for not being circus people. And Circus Daughter cries with her head in her hands. And then all the circus freaks are like, well, I guess circus is over. Let's go home.
Let's go home. Oh, wait, we live here.
Yeah. 30 feet outside of the tent, Davy suddenly realizes, hey, wait, fellas, it's not right to leave a girl crying. And then Mike
This
says...
whole thing was because of you, Davy.
Yeah.
Go after your girl.
Mike says, man, we've done everything we can. There's nothing left for us to do. That's so chivalrous, Michael. I see why you got divorced 3 times. Because, first of all, you did nothing to try and comfort her.
Right.
So, And then Davy says, "Oh, we could cheer her up." Y'all's solution to everything woman sad time is like, let's do a song for her.
Let's sing to her.
Yeah.
But as dressed as clowns.
It'll cheer her up, mommy.
The natural cure for sadness
is clown,
serenaded by
of
the
course.
Monkees as clowns.
So the song that they serenade her with as clowns is Sometime in the Morning, composed by Jerry Goffin and Carole King, and sung by Micky, which is a very, very slow romantic song.
It's an odd choice in this episode.
The romp footage is super mismatched to the song.
Right.
Like, because it's them as clowns, like, sped up, running around and doing circus tricks.
It's not a circusy song.
And then it'll cut back to the B-roll of them singing it, and it's like Micky at the drums in their low-lighted pad.
And they're in the pad, and
yeah,
Mike is wearing a blue hat.
Yeah, because this is B-roll from the episode Monkey Mother, which is when Mike starts wearing his blue hat.
Okay, I'm like, he's in a blue hat.
Yeah. Surprise jump scare Mike blue hat early reveal. And Mike winks at the camera, and I appreciated that. And Peter is staring into Davy's mouth, and I appreciated that.
So all the other performers hang out and watch.
Yeah. The clowns they each have like a different clown style.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that much about clowns. Did you have clown class in Spain? Because I had a clown class in Spain.
No, I didn't have clown class.
Aw.
They did not offer us clown class.
Who
taught clown?
It was Sarah Calver.
We didn't have her.
Exactly.
They should have asked Armando to teach clown.
I know. I had my strongest memory from Spain because our program at Pace University does a year at Spain, and you young actors apply for the Pace University. What is it called now?
A BFA in performance making.
Come to Pace University, BFA in performance making, if you want to have great classes such as Sarah Calver's clown class in Spain, where my friend Jonah was being the clown, and Sarah just kept going to him, "Jonah, it's time to stand in the special spot." "No, Jonah, that is not the special spot." "Jonah, you know that's not the special spot." "Jonah." Because so much of like clown, as in the sense of the acting form of clown, is kind of meant to be like you strip away your socialization and return to a pre-social childlike state and just react to things naturally. So that's the type of clown I'm familiar with. These guys have specific makeup types, and I don't quite recognize them, but I know that Davy is like a white face clown, and Mike is like a Charlie Chaplin tramp clown. And he looks tired and has stubble. And Loki, Clown Mike could get it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that says about me. And I don't know in what world whatever they just performed cheered anyone up. But the circus daughter and freaks are like, hey, they're not that bad. Yeah. They look like show people. Let's all do a show. Come on, boys. Let's all do a show. And that's all quotes that I wrote directly down. It doesn't help me understand what happened.
Come on, boys.
Scene.
Let's do a show.
I don't understand. Like all those clowns are like, yeah, what we need are more clowns.
More clowns. We were like, right all along.
They were like, they were terrible trapeze artists, but they're also terrible clowns. And if we have terrible clowns in the circuit, I guess they kind of have.
So my question is, they wanted them to sing for them, but then they never show them singing. Like they do sing a song,
but not in the circus.
No, that scene would have made more sense if they had the band set up, be them singing the song in their clown costumes at the circus.
But there was no good reason why they don't either. So
because they had $1 and
they
one
allegedly
day
sing the song in universe, which we'll get to. But
I think they just they ran out of time and money and were like, let's not shoot scenes of them singing because we already have that.
Yeah.
So
they have
they have to patch it up with the writing, and it doesn't work.
They have the studio picture of them singing the song at the circus.
Well, that's okay. Later. But now we've decided it's hit the point in the episode where we have to watch the circus show now, so let's just start it. And I don't care how we got to this point, and the plot is just what you're not paying attention. You're either 10 or high. You're not paying attention. They're showing B-roll of this circus that was shot in 1952. And like the voiceover announcement man, he said something about harems. Yes. I don't know. Old Man Circus's name is revealed to be Pops at this point in the episode, 20 minutes in. He's the ringmaster. He has his old man ears stick out so much that he looks like a little mouse. And Circus Daughter is the knife target, the knife throwing target, and she's wearing a beautiful Sabrina Carpenter bodysuit that I think Sabrina Carpenter genuinely may have worn on tour, in that colors. And they repeatedly announced that Victor is coming to throw his knives with fanfare. Victor, Victor, he's just sitting at his makeup counter. They did not
Just,
make sure he was
angrily boycotting backstage.
Yeah.
He has nowhere else to go.
So then Davy comes on stage at the circus holding 7 knives. And he's like, don't worry, Pop. I've got a way of getting Victor into the ring. It's okay, don't worry. I'm worried, Davy.
His tactic is to do something so dangerous
I'm
that
so
Victor
scared.
must stop him.
I'm so scared. And, you can tell that's going to be his plan the second he steps on stage. If I was Pops, I would be like, don't throw knives at my daughter, please.
Right? That is his daughter.
I don't.
If I was the daughter, I would have left also.
Yeah. But women are object props in this universe. So Davy does, in fact, start throwing knives at Circus Daughter. And Peter, who's there holding an apple at her head. He doesn't have to do that, but he did it. He could just, faint it until Victor comes out. But nope, he wanted to do it. Victor comes out and stops him before the second. He's like, "Stop! No, I will perform." like a doctor on a plane going, "Yes, I am a doctor." That was the cadence he did it with. He's taking this performance so seriously, and all Davy had to do was threaten a woman's safety to do it. So Circus Daughter smiles. The crowd goes wild, and then Victor throws knives at her and misses her very widely, which we know she's safe, but that is not as impressive as what Davy was doing, so they should not be going wild. I guess Victor... Okay, they're like, the crowd needs to come, but the Mozzarella brothers, the crowd's coming. The crowd is not going to see a show that's impressive, so we have to get Victor. It didn't make any sense.
It really was making no sense.
Yeah. So backstage, Pops says to the Monkees, "You boys did a fine job when you threw knives at my daughter." Davy, high as fuck at the end of this episode, he's giggling. He's like, "See, Pops, the circus isn't dead." And he gives a little speech about how the circus will always be alive as long as there's a song and a child's heart. Because all of these last couple episodes have to have a feel-good moral speech at the end. I hate it. And then Pops says, "All right, boys, it's your turn." And they're like, "What? We're not ready." And then he goes, "Do what you do best." And he's like, "Aw, you got it, Pops. Oh, you got us. Oh, you just want us to sing rock and roll." I said that. It's a circus. You can't sing rock and roll in the circus because it's your competition. Oh, I don't even know.
So maybe the Monkees were single-handedly responsible for the downfall of circus.
This episode is melting my
introducing
brain.
the audience to what they could have.
Yeah. So they ruined the circus worse.
Yeah.
By showing that.
But they perform at the circus.
Yeah. By which they mean Pops in his ringleader suit in the darkened circus introduces them. Hard cut to the Monkees playing She in the bright blue studio, wearing suits.
We never see a single clip of them singing in the circus.
No.
They are in the studio on a background.
They're showing the circus performers dancing.
Yeah. Including Old Man Circus making creepy tongue faces at his daughter while dancing with her in a big corset.
I
didn't like it.
And this song is equally as tonally irrelevant
as
it's
the another
previous song.
Kind of slow love song.
It's one of my favorite Monkees songs, but because I think it's very beautiful and sincere, and it is not circus in the slightest.
Yeah, no, they just keep showing the strong man making flipping the body of the juggler lady, flipping this poor woman's body
this
over.
Breakup song playing in the back.
And they were showing stock footage of aerialists and elephants.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was a $2 scene. It was a real $2 scene right there. After that's over, Davy and Circus Daughter are making out backstage when Dwarf Clown number 2 comes up to them silently and tugs on Davy's sweater so that he can give him a giant key
to remember them by.
And then the sword swallower gives Mike his sword to remember him by.
Yeah.
And Mike goes, "I can't cut bread and I couldn't," looks straight ahead, "swallow it." So, it was a really good delivery. Mike is so funny. And the strong man gives Peter his barbell to remember him by which he is now finds to be very heavy when he
Yes.
didn't before.
His super strength has faded.
Okay, I don't know what the joke was. And the juggler lady gives Mickey a whole bunch of circus shit that he also can't use in
A
his
full
daily life.
lion head.
Yeah, the furry lion head from Mike's costume, which he refused to wear.
Yes.
Like, okay,
And some juggling sticks.
the lion Mike joke would have been funnier if he was wearing the full lion suit with his voice coming out of it, and they just put
And
the hat
little
on top.
hat. It
Yeah.
would've worked.
But Mike said, you will not catch me 100% of the way into a fursuit. So
But you can put as much
as
blotchy fur glued to my face as you like.
as you want. So Mickey, holding all his shit, sadly crashes his unicycle into the corner where Davy and the girl make out.
And she was like, I'm just thanking him. That's all she keeps saying. I'm just thanking him.
Yeah, with sexual favors. So she said, and then she mumbles something which sounds like, I was thanking him for help save our circus. You owe us another sellout tonight? Like she phrases it as a question, but she's making it sound like she's going to keep the Monkees there indefinitely working for the circus. And then it cuts to the B-roll monkey mobile footage, implying they drove away post-haste and allowed the corpse of the circus to fester and decay.
I was like, I think they were just running short, so they showed them driving away in the truck.
They tried to patch a lot of holes and cut a lot of corners in this one, and it didn't work because the episode didn't make any sense.
0 sense.
Yeah, except that Circus Boy got to
Circus Boy
sing.
He got to live again.
He got to sing his Circus Boy song.
They should have had the plot of this episode should have been a monkey doppelganger episode where Corky returns and they just have blonde Mickey.
I was also surprised it wasn't really a Mickey centric episode. I think that would have been funnier if they moved more into his wanting to be a circus boy.
Yeah, there was no main character of this one even. Like, they put all the effort into gluing those furs to Mike's face, and then they ran out of time to edit the script.
And then the mustaches too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of glue.
Yeah. The mustache glue kept melting when they went to go like hotbox the backstage, and they had to
maybe
fix
that's why
it.
They all seemed high. They were literally inhaling the glue.
They were
right
inhaling mustache glue, and that's why. Yeah. Well, the American circus is dead, and the monkey is out.
Monkey out.
Monkey out.
Yep.
We hope you enjoyed that episode of the Monkees Pod. You can follow us on Instagram and the website formerly known as Twitter at MonkeesPod. And today I will sing to you from the best musical about the circus, The Greatest Showman. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I am brave, I am bruised, this is who I'm meant to be, this is me. I had to learn that at musical theater camp. I have never seen this movie. Bye!